fucking adventure. Thanks, Chriso. This is what we see. We're riding the track. What the fuck are we doing? We're just getting fucked over. Fuck, you did a fucking fantastic job of that, Luke. We've made a mistake. Well, it's been an interesting couple of weeks over here at Scotty Huggins Unsupervised. We just recently got back from riding across the desert through to Alice Springs. But before we went to Alice Springs, we thought we'll do a little shakedown run just to make sure everything's okay. You know, make sure fuel's okay, fuel lines, make sure pannier bags are secured correctly, make sure we have all the right camping gear, make sure the bikes handle good, make sure that nothing's too slippery on the dirt. We rode across to Chris Wilson's place. When we got there, Chris said he couldn't come. What he did was he gave us a GPX file for a GPS. And he said, listen, me and my dad, we've ridden this track about 8 months ago. Yeah, it was pretty good. Dad complained a little bit. I was like, okay. Mind you, his dad's in his 60s. We thought, oh yeah, 2 to 3 hour ride. We'll stop at the pub, have a beer, have an easy sort of afternoon. We're just out here in Alleganda, going for a little shakedown run. Got all our gear on. Moose is in the fucking tyres. Fuck, we're ready to go. Ready to roll, boys. Very pleased with it so far. What do you reckon, Lucas? Yep. We get on the tar for a bit. We turn in and we go, oh, this is not a bad track. Chriso knows what he's doing. He knows how to make a pretty good track. It's just a little 2-lane track, like a 4-wheel drive track. Pretty narrow, bit overgrown, not too bad. And I was like, oh, this would be good. This would be a nice little track to ride. Have a look at this, ready? Full enduro style. As we went down there, it just got worse and worse and worse. This is the track Chriso sent us down. Full single track. And we got down the bottom and realised Luke had lost his fucking phone in a crash over a log. We had to walk fucking all the way back up this fucking steep ass hill because we couldn't ride the adventure bikes back up there again. Walking back down to keep going on our fucking adventure. Thanks, Chriso. Chriso, what are you doing to us? We're riding down a single track on fully loaded adventure bikes, trying to go over big logs like this. Huh? What a fucking stitch up. Chris Wilson's fucking misadventures. Got Bruce all over me. Look at the sweat pouring off me. What a stitch up, Chris, eh? We're getting there, slowly. About 7 k's of the hard track to go before we get onto the normal track. It was a funny stitch up. Now it's a full stitch up. Can't really go on the single track for about fucking 20k so far. We're planning on getting back to the pub by about 12 o'clock. It's 3 o'clock, I'd reckon. Fucking hell. We're getting somewhere at least. We're about 6.5 k's to the fucking to reach the main road. And we got another fucking challenge. It's just a fucking fuck fight every 5 minutes. Luke had a flat battery just before. I had fucking vine shit all fucking trapped in my fucking back wheel. Had to cut them all out. We're just getting fucked over. Anyway, but we can hear the river, so we're getting close. The track got so bad at one point that when we got down to the Buckenbower River, there's no possible way we could ride along the track, not with the big bikes. So we plunged the bikes into the river and we tried to ride the shallow sections of the river without drowning the bikes. Got one of the bikes, I should say, where we were going to camp the night. It was like 4:30, 5 o'clock by this time, and my bike was left up the river, not being able to run, and not knowing if we could get the bike running again the next day. We're sitting here in the dark. We've got 2 sets of panniers on one bike. The other bike's down this way somewhere with maybe a fouled plug. We're camping out the night. Anything that could go wrong has gone wrong today. We've had a flat battery on a bike. We've had vines caught up in the rear tyre. We've had to cross about 5 or 6 huge big logs. We're wet. It wasn't hot today, but we're working that hard. We've travelled about 9 k's and we've got about 6 to go. Looks like it might be a little bit easier. Fingers crossed. Yeah, we're camping out for the night. Chris Wilson, by the way, that's a fucking stitch up. There's no chance you rode that with your dad. There's no chance anyone's ridden that, ever. It's a walking track. Luckily, we had pretty much all of our supplies with us. We had food, we had jet boils, tents and mattresses and all the things we needed. We had pillows, everything, right? So we weren't too bad. We had everything we needed to survive. It's the next morning. Me and Luke have had a cosy night with 1 sleeping bag, 1 tent, sleeping together. We're camped on the track. This is the track here. As you can see, it's very well defined. Can you see where it is? No, of course not. What a fucking disaster. We've got to get my bike running again because something's happened to it. It's got a foul plug or something. Going to ride my bike down the river because we can't exactly go down there. Have about 5 k's to go of this track that we can tell on the GPS. If we can do 5 k's in 5 hours, we should be right to go. This morning's challenge, got to get up and around that fucking tree there and see how we go. This is what we see. We're on the track. We're riding the track. See that guidepost down there? What do you reckon? What the fuck are we doing? So we've been riding for close to 30 years, I would say. And we've been riding the bush for basically all that time. In 30 years, I've never had to be rescued out of the bush. Been in some sticky situations before many times. You know, a lot of the time mentally, it's very challenging to understand that you need to sort this out, otherwise you're gonna be stuck here. This trail made my resilience level raise about 10 notches because every 1 metre of ground that we made was a success.
We're just walking out because we get some service.
We've given up. We've been out here for...
Oh, the hills beat us.
Yeah, just
it's a fucking hill.
It's so greasy and slippery just next to the creek. We're gonna have to get a rescue team in here, which is the first time in what, 30 years? Look, oh fuck.
Yeah, that's right.
First time in 30 years, we're getting rescued out of the bush. Yeah, we've made a mistake. On the recommendation of Mr. Chris Wilson. So, thanks Chris. So no one knew where we were. We were missing people. We told everyone we'd be back within a couple of hours, and we were still not back at 1 o'clock in the morning. Understandably, Luke's wife must have been freaking the fuck out. Chris woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday. He'd realised something's gone wrong. So he's texted our group. We had a group message going with all of our guys that were going on this venture ride. And he texted the group and said that we were missing, and said that he can't understand what went wrong because it was an easy track. And they should have been back in 3 or 4 hours. He texted the GPS file across to our group. And now John Payton, one of the boys who's a really good rider and knows the forest really well, he texts Chris and goes, "That's not a track. It's a walking track. It's not a road. It's a walking track." And Chris said that's when the penny dropped. He went, "Oh shit." So he's ridden up to the track that we went down, and he turned into it and he goes, "Oh, this isn't the track." And he's going, "Oh shit, that's what's happened. They're somehow stuck down this track." So then he's gone looking for us. And he spent probably 5 or 6 hours looking for us before we even called him, before we got enough service to call him, telephone service to call him.
We need chainsaws and shit.
A hoe.
And a hoe and...
Where the fuck were you cunts going?
Well, no.
Where you sent us, cunt?
Hey, you'll see. It wasn't too bad until it got bad.
We made it to the river again. We've been in contact with the boys. We're across the river, and then we'll be out of here. So we're currently 3 days into a 2-hour adventure, going to rescue the bikes. I'm just talking to Luke about you know, what I thought the track was going to be like when we first went down it. It didn't turn out that way, that's for sure. It's that fucking narrow going down this track. Can't even put the phone out the window. We're touched on both sides here. These little suckers are everywhere. Look at the leech. Leeches everywhere around here. The leeches were so fucking bad down here. Every time you stopped, you had 6 on you. We were like monkeys, like picking leeches off each other. Every time we stopped, there'd be a leech on Luke's neck, or a leech on his back, or a leech on his hand, or leech up his sleeve. When we got rescued the first time on the Sunday, and I got home and pulled all my bike gear off and took everything off, and I had a leech on the back of my leg that was so full, it just fell off and plopped on the ground. And it was just full of blood. And they'd been on me for God knows how long. At least all day that day. And somehow it worked down my pants or up my pants, I don't know. After we got back to the pub on the Monday night, after we'd had rescued the bikes, Jeff took his shoe off and he had blood all in his shoe because there was a leech that was in there just sucking his blood. We were just constantly pulling leeches off each other. It was, really thick with leeches, just because how wet it was. It was really wet down there. That had floods
The floods had caused trees to fall and more damage.
We're currently cutting the track in before drive comes through. Going about, I don't know, 2k so far. It's about 12 o'clock and we're going uphill, which is never a good sign.
I'm gonna kick your ass right here in front of everybody. Some butthead decided to go down a track that no one's ever been before.
Yeah, that was Chris is telling us that the tracks exist and that we're going down it. Really got me. I've got our trusty ribbon. You can see how much of a good track we have. Luckily we've got a few people following us up, so cutting the minimum amount out we can. We can hear where the boys are now. We should get out tonight. Fingers crossed. We have arrived! We found the track.
How do you know where we're at?
We're on the corn trail right now.
Ah,
We made it.
well, ain't much of a goddamn trail.
I know, it's not. That's what I'm saying. It's fucking ridiculous. You can hardly fucking see where it is.
So the bike's on this trail.
It's that away.
All right, cool.
We got 5 blokes. We got 1 bike out already. And we get the next bike out. It's probably faster walking than it is riding anyway. Yeah, the blinker broke off.
Fuck yeah. Like he's not riding it down with
Yeah.
You like that? That's to show you where to go. The track's so well defined along here.
Just a whole big hole here, so I gotta stay high. This just like right down here. Yep. Just this is the shittest part here, right at the very end. So you've got to turn left.
Just lock the rear brakes up and slide it around the corner like a fucking dirt bike. I thought that was gonna happen. Steer down, steer down. Fucking reeds. Vines. Bit of track building going on. Just ride it in the bushes there, like in the ferns. Fuck, you did a fucking fantastic job with that, Luke. Cutting the track in through the bushes. Fucking hot as anything. Well, it's nearly dark, but we have both bikes out. We're at the river. There's the road. We're going to be out of here soon. That's it. What do you reckon, Jeffrey? Go on here. Yeah, I'm cold too. But wetness will do that to you. What is it? Rear brake?
ABS sensor.
ABS sensor ripped off.
One last thing before I go. I'd just like to thank everyone who helped out on this adventure, rescuing the bikes, getting them out. I won't mention everyone's name just in case you don't want me to, but you know who you are. It was very much appreciated. I know Luke and I appreciate it very much, and I think we'd still be there if we didn't have your help. It would have taken us days to get the bikes out if we had to do it by ourselves. So I imagine we'll be chatting about it in the future, and yeah, I'll talk to you guys soon. See ya. Bye.